Hey guys, Leeway Pravis here, and am I really that boring? I know I haven't got many viewers at the moment, but am I boring? If you think I'm boring, just hit the dislike bar. Alright, let's make a start then, shall we? Our first story today. Australian Parliament's has been voted in for a few weeks. They've just started to sit. And yeah, Julia Gillard is now our first female Prime Minister. And I mean actual Prime Minister, not acting like she was before the election. She's our actual Prime Minister. And I'm honestly quite glad about that. Alright? If you remember the election issue event that I did a few weeks back, you would know what I mean. However, there's still some comments going around about Julia, and I've actually included an unlisted video, which you can click on right here, somewhere. That will direct you to what I think about what I have to say about the comments, because I'm not going to put them in the main video. Okay, the second article I want to talk about is about the AFL Grand Final replay. Apparently, the AFL committee has decided to actually do a replay instead of doing Golden Point. And it's thrown a lot of plans out of whack. Not just for the players who had weddings and holidays planned, but it's also thrown people who have these plans, well, normal people who have these plans set up. Alright, there's actually a news article out at the moment that's explained that a bride's wedding was pretty much destroyed because people because people are leaving, turning down the wedding for watching the AFL Grand Final. And at the moment, I'm just sitting here going, no, this isn't right. I mean, there's been a lot of sports critics here piping up and saying that this is the greatest moment in sport, in Australian sport, and I'm sorry, I have to say this. You may think it's the greatest moment in sport, but for crying out loud, these people, the footballers, are normal people. They're not 24/7 football machines. Alright? You got to take that into consideration. That grand final was the ultimate time for the AFL committee to actually make a decision on the fly as to what they could do. And I know the camera's just jiggled around a fair bit. But basically the committee screwed up with this decision. Alright, they should have gone the golden goal. Alright, but again, decision's been made. I'm not too happy about it, but such is the case. Our third article today actually talks about an Indian woman who is currently living in Australia. Now, she wanted to make sure that her husband remained faithful. Now, there's about 1,000 different ways of doing this. But instead, this woman did something completely unique. She set his genitals alight. Alright, now our final article. Now, if you watch Vent 10A, which is the sequel to Vent 10, you would have heard about me venting about the Commonwealth Games and how they're not really ready to start. Like, buildings still incomplete, there's the risk of dengue fever, there's safety issues. Apparently the latest one to come up is the fact that there are feral animals living in the village as well. Repairs and tidying and all that type of stuff are still being done. And that's all on top of the security issues that are permeating the games, the terrorist threats and all that type of stuff. But the latest to come up actually has to do with Crown Prince Charles and Indian Prime Minister Prez Patil. And the reason the fights come up is because they don't know who is going to open the games. I think the Commonwealth royalty want Charles to open the games as a Commonwealth head, but they, at the same time, Indian government wants Prez Patil to open, well, just to show that the Indians do actually have some control over how the games are going. So, and I suppose I'd probably prefer Prez Patil to do it, in my personal opinion, because Charles is a pretty big name, and combine that with terrorist attack, you can pretty much sort of discover from there that if Charles went over to India, he'd become the number one target. So yeah, Prez Patil's probably a better one to open the games, I think, instead of Charles, just for his safety's sake, but that's my opinion. Okay, I've got a couple of questions for you today. First one is, should the AFL have a replay, or should they have gone with the golden point? Alright, and the second one is, what's your opinion of how the Commonwealth Games are preparing at the moment? I mean, yes, they're 2-3 days away, but do you think they are still way behind schedule? Do you think these games may not turn out as great as they could be? Okay, again, you can answer those questions in the comment section below, and if you don't want to answer them both, that's fine, just answer one of them. If you want to contribute something, this box here contains a link to the message service. Click on that. If you want to subscribe, right, buttons up the top here. So, I'm Leeway Previs, this is Vent, and before I go, I'd actually like to advertise a nice little program that's being done by a friend of mine. It's called Resume Life. It's an interactive web series, and you'll find the link below along with all the links to today's articles. Alright, so until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.